Hey, Wendell here. I have a question for you. How do you manage to live life when you feel like life has dealt you a bad hand? You literally feel like you were born at a disadvantage while others have the advantage in life. You take 2 steps forward, only realize that you're 10 steps back. And you say to yourself, Lord, how am I to deal with the hand I've been dealt? It's likened to a deck of cards when you're playing a card game, if anybody's ever played with cards before. And you're dealt a bad hand and you look up at the sky and you say to yourself, Lord, what am I to do with this hand? How am I to play it knowing that it's so weak? And you have a decision to make. Either you're going to play the hand you dealt or you're going to throw it in. But I tell you not to give up. I tell you not to quit because God can change things. And while you may feel like the hand you've been dealt is out of your control, you may not be able to control the parents you've been dealt in your life. You may not be able to control whether your father's present or whether your mother's present in your life. You may not be able to control what sickness you're born with or what ailments have come to your body after, years of living and you were fine. And now all of a sudden you're sick and the doctors do not know why you're sick and they don't know why you are going when you're going to die. But they tell you that you may die and you don't know what to believe. These are hard questions that hit us in our lifetime at times, and we don't know what to do. But I tell you to have faith. We find ourselves in comparison to others in Scripture. You read about a guy in John chapter 5, and it says he's crippled, and he's at a pool called Bathsheba. And in fact, he feels invalid, or the Scriptures refer to him as invalid, which means he has an infirmity. But also at the same time, I believe he feels invalid. Nobody cares about his situation because nobody stops to help him. Nobody stops to acknowledge his issue. And then you have another person in Acts chapter 3. He sits crippled at the gate called Beautiful. And while his situation is crippled, everybody is walking along with their beautiful life. And he sees this crippled situation. And he says, Lord, why me? And then we see another person in John chapter 9. And the disciples asked, Lord, is it because of this man's sin that he has been born blind, or is it because of his parents' sin? But Jesus says, no, it's not. It's so that the glory of God could be manifested. I tell you today, friends, be encouraged about what you're going through because God has greater. God is trying to get glory out of your situation if you just believe that he is able to do it. If you believe that God is able to do anything but fail. But if you believe that greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world, you have an opportunity to see your hand change. You have the opportunity to see the hand of God touch your life and change your whole situation if you just dare to believe that he is able. I don't care what neighborhood you were born in. I don't care where you were born at. All I know is that God can do the impossible if you dare to believe that he is able. He can change your situation. He can bring you out. Just believe. And to those who are in strength, don't throw your hand up to anybody. Don't quit on anybody. Don't throw the towel on anybody because you want somebody to believe in you just as they want somebody to believe in them. So, my dear friends, I tell you to hold up, be true, acknowledge God, acknowledge your weakness, and see that he is able to do anything but fail. I leave you with the words he left Jeremiah when Jeremiah questioned God and he said, God, the wicked prosper. They don't do anything, but they wound up prospering. They wind up being rich. They wind up with all these things. And Lord, it's because you allow them to. So Lord, why is it that you challenge me? Why is it that I'm not blessed like other people? And this is what the Lord left Jeremiah with. He said, Jeremiah, if you struggle with men on foot, how can you run with horses? And if you if you struggle in the safe countries, how will you deal with the flood? The answers to Jeremiah's question was this. The Lord was telling Jeremiah, I am trying to make you stronger. I am trying to make you realize that greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. I am trying to make you realize that you cannot entrust in your own strength and you cannot trust in who you are, but you must lean on me, the everlasting Father, to know that I am the only one that is able to keep you from falling. You may have been dealt a bad hand, but God's hands is bigger. You may have been dealt a bad situation, but God is a deliverer. You may see a mountain in front of you, but God is able to move the mountain if you have faith the size of a mustard seed. Be encouraged today. This is Wendell. Hope you have a blessed day.